guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to film a video about long haul flying with a disability and in a wheelchair and give you my tips and advice basically. Before I go on, linked in the description box is a video sort of vlog all about travelling in a wheelchair in the airport when we went to Spain, so you might want to check that out. So I've been lucky enough to travel all over the world: South Africa, Australia, America, we've done the Florida, Canada, all over Europe. I've been really lucky, and I'm so thankful for all of those opportunities that I have been given, and there is still so much more that I want to explore. I really want to go to South America, and I would love to go to Thailand and those countries as well. Why don't you comment down below and let me know where you want to go next on holiday. Anyway, this video is all about long haul flying, so flights probably more than 5-6 hours I would say, and once you've flown to Australia, oh, you got it down. I've flown to Australia 3 times. Once when I was a lot younger, then a second time when I had a 1-year-old. If you can fly to Australia with a 1-year-old, it's a breeze, you can do anything. And then once again when Daisy Bell was 4, which was a lot easier. I have also flown completely solo on my own to Spain. I was extremely proud of myself. This was taken at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is why I look so handsome. So where do I begin? So first of all, if you have any reservations about flying with a disability, don't. Every single airline that I have been on, every single airport that I have been to, they've all been geared up for people with disabilities, and they have been able to give me special assistance. So when you book your flights, there will be an option somewhere on the screen to click whether you need special assistance or not. And I highly recommend that you get the special assistance, because that will enable you to go to the front of the queues when you're being checked in. It will also enable you to board the plane first, which is so handy, because it gives you a chance to get on the plane, get yourself sorted, put your luggage on the overhead locker and just settle in without everybody else sort of pushing and shoving and everything like that. Also, if you get the special assistance as well, they will put you on a little buggy and drive you around the airport. Beep, 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 if you can't walk long distances. I usually have someone escort me, and they don't push me, but they usually escort us through because I stay in my wheelchair. It's advisable that you tell your airline 48 hours before you travel that you need special assistance. I do this at the time of booking, but the latest you can leave it is up to 48 hours, and all airlines differ and airports do differ, so make sure you check with the airline, check with the airport. They are going to be able to accommodate your needs because they do differ. Did you know you can also travel with up to 2 items of mobility equipment without it being classed as your baggage? So you won't be charged for taking your wheelchair and then maybe a hand bike, for example, or any other sort of equipment that you need because of your disability. Also, when you book your flights, if you have any dietary requirements or things like that, then they usually accommodate. There's usually a whole list of different dietary requirements that you can check on. I would highly recommend that you double check it all. I know that my sister required a diabetic meal, which really wasn't for diabetics. It was full of sugar, and I don't know what they were thinking. So yeah, just bear that in mind. You might want to take a few extra snacks on the plane, but I'll be getting into my carry-on in just a minute. Another thing, if you're worried about how you're going to actually get onto the plane, they do have what's known as a sky chair or an aisle chair, and basically it is a awful chair with teeny tiny little wheels. Very uncomfortable, and they strap you in. It's almost like a forklift thing that you would transport like boxes. It's not very dignified, which is why one likes to get on first so no one can see. But yeah, there's a little aisle chair, so that will take you down to the to your seat if you need it. Now, one of the biggest questions questions that I get asked is, how do you go to the toilet on a plane? Now, I am lucky that my husband helps me. Some planes and airlines will have the aisle chair or the sky chair on board, but you might want to check that, and they're not on every single plane. It depends on the size and the passengers and things like that. I know some people just can't go to the toilet on planes, so they restrict their liquid intake, and they may use external catheters. This is something that I would recommend that you look into. I don't know too much about it. I do restrict my liquid intake, which is goes against everything. Everybody says you need to drink as much as possible when you're up in the air because you get really dehydrated, but I do restrict it so that my toilet visits are limited because it's a bit of a palaver. And obviously I go before I get on and then go when I get off. So basically I'm just speaking from my own experiences of what I use and how I find it when I travel. I'm sure a lot of you have a range of disabilities and different needs, so be sure to leave your comments down below so that other people can read the comments and be assured that these things work for them as well. But now I'm going to move on to what I take with me. So what we will do is we will have a flight bag, and our flight bag will usually be something like this. This is a nice big Ralph Lauren bucket bag, or a Neverfull. It's almost like the Louis Vuitton Neverfull, and we will have something like this, which is massive and you can fit loads and loads of things in. The flight bag that we took to Australia actually broke and I had to take it back, so I don't have it, but it was very, very similar to this bag. The only difference is that it had a longer strap so it could go over the back of my wheelchair. Now in this bag I will put everything that I will need from getting to the plane and what I need on the plane. So let's dive in and have a look. So in there I will have iPads and things like that to entertain the child or myself, and I will also make sure that I have got the chargers. Some long haul flights will have USB chargers on them so you can charge up your mobile devices. I also downgrade from my Louis Vuitton Speedy to this little Louis Vuitton Pochette, and in here I will keep my wallet and I will keep the passports. I've also got my earphones in there. Another thing I highly recommend is if you drive to the airport, make sure you put your keys, and indeed your house keys as well, in a really safe place, like your bag. Because there's nothing worse than getting back off a flight to Australia and saying, "Where are the house keys?"
I gave them to you.
No, you didn't.
They're in the bag.
No, they're not. No. So make sure that you have a good idea of where you keep them somewhere safe. Then another little pouch I will have is this one. This is the one that I took to Australia. Now in here are all of my lifesavers. Now get a pen and some paper, because honestly, you will really, really thank me for these. And I have been travelling long enough to know what I need. Okay, so the first thing you will definitely need is some lip balm. Oh, your skin, everything just gets so dry and horrible up in the air. So lip balm is a must. The second thing you may want is some sort of rescue remedy. I don't know, it just calms me down. I'm not a nervous flyer, I don't have any anxiety or anything like that, but it's always nice to have. But another thing I really, really recommend is one of these. It is a bulbous oil inhaler, and it's sort of like a eucalyptus-y menthol inhaler that you can just stick up your nose and sniff, and it sort of opens up your airwaves. Because because when you go up in the sky, you're all compressed, and it really, really plays havoc on your sinuses. I know it really makes me feel, and it's just, again, it's really nice to smell something nice and just open up your airways. So thank me for that one. Okay, and this is obviously really, really important, but all of your medication that you're going to need. And another thing worth bearing in mind is that for your medication, depending on what country you're going to, you may need some medical documentation from a doctor to sort of back it up to make sure that it belongs to you. That's something that you should look into. I don't know too much about it because I don't take opiates, but I know that some countries are a bit funny with opiates, so yes, make sure you look into that. Something else that I take is Studeron. I really recommend this. This is a travel sickness tablet, and children from the age of 5 can take these as well. They do make you feel a little bit drowsy, but it's not too bad, and you can sort of like shake yourself out of it, but it's kind of nice when you're on a really long flight to be a bit drowsy and a bit relaxed really, and sleep as much as possible. That's me personally. You may need to check with other medications that you're taking before you take this. Another thing I'll take is Phenergan, which is antihistamine, and it's like a muscle relaxant, and it just really helps you feel drowsy and sleepy. Since I'm travelling with my daughter, I don't take that, but before, when I travelled without my daughter, I did take it. That is in here is my skincare products. You know me, I love skincare, and as I said, you get so dehydrated and stale on the plane. There is nothing quite like being able to take off your makeup and do your skincare routine. As you know, I absolutely love Dermo28, and Dermo28 have launched their travel size products as well, so I can put my little travel size ones in there, but they also, when you purchase from them, give you samples as well. So what I'll be inclined to do is I will save the samples as well, so you've got like these really handy sample sachets. So what I will take is a nice toner to help tone the skin. I will take a cleanser to cleanse off all of my makeup, and a really deep conditioning moisturizer, and a deep conditioning eye cream. And another thing I'll take as well is an SPF cream for when you land. If you land in the daytime, you will need some SPF on if you're going somewhere hot and sunny. Another thing I carry in here is eye drops. Again, all of that horrible dehydration will make your eyes sore and itchy, so I really recommend eye drops. They were a lifesaver for us. Another thing I carry is earplugs. Some airlines will give you earplugs on the plane, some don't. I am not willing to take the risk, but earplugs are a lifesaver. Just to remember that all liquids need to be placed in a clear Ziploc bag, and they must be 100 ml or less. Also, another thing that I would recommend you take on a flight is Imodium, because you just never know. Another thing that will be in my bag are mints. You might not be able to get to the bathroom and brush your teeth, and if your long lost family are picking you up from the airport, the last thing you want to do is go hi after a 26-hour flight eating rubbish food. So yeah, some mints or some chewing gum are a bit of a lifesaver. Another thing, some airlines give you these, but you may want to pack your own, is little eye patches. They're really handy if you're trying to go to sleep. Another thing that I can't find, but I always take with me on the long haul flights, is the neck pillows. They do sometimes supply you with pillows on long haul flights, but your own, there's nothing quite like your own neck pillow. Oh, another thing that I will pack is games and activities for Daisy. I will pack magazines, and I will pack snacks, like so many snacks. You may also want to consider taking a change of underpants and a bikini and some emergency clothes and some flip-flops. Now the reason I say that is because when you're on a long haul flight, you may be prone to spilling things on yourself. I know it's happened to me. Sure as eggs are eggs, every single flight we're on, I will spill something on myself. Oh, I'm so clumsy. So you don't want to be sat there with wet underpants. Also, I always think, like, what happens if my luggage gets lost? And you've been sat in your underpants for like 20, 30 hours. It's always nice to have some sort of backup just in case. Now, when I am on a long haul flight, what I tend to wear is a tracksuit. I wear the comfiest bra that I own, and I always layer up because planes can be stiflingly hot or seriously cold. So layering is the key here, so you can always take something off or add things on. I wear comfy footwear, my Uggs. Another thing that I wear on the plane is compression socks, or flight socks I think they are. I know, right? So sexy. But yeah, I wear flight socks to prevent DVT. Don't know how much it works, but let's be honest, I'd rather try it than not and regret not wearing flight socks. So that is it for this little video. I hope that it was of use to you. If you have any questions, just drop them down below, and if you have any tips as well, drop those down below. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make a vlog on me traveling, but next year I will be able to, so watch that space. Watch this space. Watch this space. Make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!